Chords and Notes Nation. Happy November 2nd. November 6th. It's not November 2nd. It's the second day of the week. It's Tuesday. I can do that. Messing around with my light here. I'm trying to reduce the amount of glare that I get on my glasses here. Woo! Alright, we're just going to go with it. Welcome to the dark recesses of my basement. Today... God, that bothers me. Here we go. Let's do that. There we go. Today, I am going to very happily review another book. How's this? Is that better? Something like that. Okay, here we go. Anyways, Ready Player One by Ernest Cline. Narrated by Will Wheaton. What an absolute joy this was to listen to. And there's one person that I have to thank particularly. He knows who he is. He's the one who requested this. And I would never have even listened to it unless he had. So, thanks, man. Here's to ya. Ready Player One. Now, I know this is a movie now, recently. But the book, or the audiobook in this case. By the way, this was produced by Books on Tape. Don't want to forget that. Books on Tape. Not really tape, CD though. I'll start with the narrating. Will Wheaton. For those of you who don't know, he played Wesley Crusher on the Star Trek The Next Generation series back in the 80s. And he did an outstanding job narrating this book. Except for one part. The drummer for Rush, his name is Neil Peart, not Pert. Americans always get that wrong. Pert. It's not Pert, it's Peart. He even said it himself. He said, "My name is pronounced Peart." Excuse me. Anyways, that being said, just a really, really wonderful listen. 13 discs, but, you know, it didn't feel like it. It went really quickly, and that's because of the quality of the story. I think the story was just a wonderful story, mainly because I've been reading or listening to a lot of books that use, well, they're from a long time ago, and the language is different, and the way things are written. Here, this is more modern, extremely modern, and talks about things that I'm 100% familiar with. So I didn't have to spend a lot of mental energy trying to figure things out. It was spelt out plainly for me. The writing style was good. I liked it, and from what I understand, this is Mr. Cline's first novel. Correct me if I'm wrong. So for a first novel, I think this is really good. And so the story is basically, for those of you who don't know, there's a gentleman who is a Gen Xer, and like myself, and he had created, amongst other things, his biggest claim was this place called the Oasis. It's a virtual reality universe. And he, on his deathbed, he placed an Easter egg in there with all of his fortune, and there was a contest to whoever gets it gets the fortune and gets control of the Oasis. But this happens in a, I guess you would call it a post-apocalyptic world. Well, 2044, so not too far from now, but things are really bad, and the Oasis is the alternative that a lot of people they go into this virtual reality universe, and that's their place. And It's basically man against corporation, because there's a big evil corporation trying to get this Easter egg and take control of the virtual universe as well. So there's some things to be thought about and said about that as well. Tons and tons and tons and tons of pop culture references from the 70s and 80s, mostly 80s. Familiar with just about every single one of them, so it was almost kind of like going down memory lane with this one. So for me, from someone who grew up in that era, I definitely connected with the author, and that's important for any artist, is to connect with your audience. So yeah, I definitely had an appreciation, and in fact, the way he did it, I think he connected not only with the Gen Xers but with the Millennials as well. So well done on that. I'm going to give this 4 out of 4, because I think it was just a really wonderful read, really wonderful listen, and I highly recommend it. So thanks. That's all I have for Ready Player One. 4 out of 4. Bye, guys.